Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm just going to stand here on my factory foundation and talk. This slab here is going to be built into basically a story and a half, two-story building, and on this side I'm going to have the factory, and on this side I'm going to have a workshop for building recumbent bikes, and the upper floor will be for storage for all the stuff, all the inventory, bottles and boxes and everything else, and metal to store up overhead in a nice dry place out from underneath my benches and my workshops and everything. Okay, that having been said, next, the store is down, and in a nutshell, why the store is down is because in a previous video I explained to you that I messed up on my credit card when it was hacked, and they resended the payment to my web host, webs.com. Unfortunately, once I sent them a banker's check for over $300 to get the site back up again because they wouldn't accept credit card payment, we went along fine for a month, and then when the first of the month came up, their computer went through and did a scan and looked at the old credit card payment that had been disputed. They didn't put the information in that I made what they call a manual payment with a banker's check. So when it came up there, it still looked to the computer, which is only as smart as the person programming it. It looked like I still hadn't made the payment, so they shut my website down. I was down all day Friday. I got in touch with them, explained to them what the problem was, and they looked at it and went, "Oh yeah, you're right, you did. You made a manual payment back on the 1st of July. So, wow, we really apologize for shutting down the website." So I said, "Can you get it back up?" Yeah, we can do that. I'm really sorry that that happened, but our computer did not catch that manual payment, and we should have it up by the end of the day. Well, it didn't come up by the end of the day, and they went home for a long 3-day weekend, so that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and hopefully when they come back Tuesday, I can talk to them and get them to turn my website back on. So that's 5 days, maybe 6. I wouldn't expect it to be up actually before Wednesday. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm not impressed with webs.com. Their left hand has no idea what their right hand is doing. And as you can see, in the last 2 months, they've shut me down, or will have shut me down 12 days. And with no consideration whatsoever for getting my site back up. As a non-event with them, they really didn't care one way or the other, and I'm sure they don't care right now. If you walked at them, they're probably at some party drunk and told them that, hey, you left Mini, they wouldn't even know who Mini Bowl Design was, and they really couldn't care. Just no service whatsoever, and their 24/7 customer help is at very best a joke. It's a guy sitting answering the phone who doesn't know anything about what's going on and has no power to do anything. And if this sounds like a broken record, it's probably the same thing I said the last time they shut it down. So my point is, if you are thinking of or toying with the idea of starting a website and using webs.com as your host, sincerely, all kidding aside, that would be a really bad idea. Their website's builder works very poorly. You click, nothing happens, and you click and it happens twice, and it's just really not a smooth running machine. And their customer service, they don't have any, bottom line. So if you are thinking of webs.com or you are with them now, I sincerely, all kidding aside, I would recommend that you get away from them as soon as possible, because in the end, you're going to regret ever signing up with them. And that's my unbiased opinion, honest to God. These guys really are a piece of work. Now, that having been said, Robert and I are going to move the website to a new host, obviously. We're looking at HostGator. That's HostGator. Now, we've looked them all over, and it appears to be a solid place at just a fraction of the cost of webs.com with better everything. But hosting a website or picking a host is a lot like standing on a pond with ice on it. You don't really know if it's safe until you walk out on it and hear the ice cracking. So if anybody watching this video knows anything about HostGator, good or bad, please let me know, because if anybody has had a bad experience with them or knows something that I don't know, let me know ahead of time, because it's going to take a while to get on there, and if there's something I need to know, if it's bad, a really bad, sucky website like webs.com, let me know, because we're not committed there, and I haven't stepped out onto the ice yet, but it looks good. It looks safe. Okay, finally, when I went out on my backpacking trip the other day, and the video on that, I used my M4 stove, and Robert used an M4 also, and we were surprisingly amazed on how well it worked right out on the trail in trail conditions. I woke up at like 11 o'clock at night, laying on my NeoAir mattress in my sleeping bag, and just rolled her on my side and cooked my supper right there, right in the bag. Worked flawless. There was 2 people sleeping just maybe 8 feet away from me, 6 feet away from me, and I didn't wake them up because the stove's totally silent. Sat there and ate my red beans and rice and pita bread, and stove worked perfect. And Robert was cooking out in the wind with his and put some rocks around it, and it worked great for him too. So I'm really happy with the M4. Okay, and finally, that video has prompted a lot of new customers who are not alcohol stove people to start emailing me and asking me about the M4. And every one of them that has emailed me and asked about the price of the M4 and the availability, I've told them all the same thing. If you've never used an alcohol stove, I don't recommend buying an M4. I recommend buying just a standard atomic or mini atomic and following the instructions and using it. And then once you've used it and see what alcohol is capable of, if you're completely happy with the atomic, you may just want to stay with it. But if you want to upgrade, then you can go to an M4 or a Bongo Pro or something. I don't recommend buying an M4 for your very first stove if you've never worked with alcohol. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, have a really great day. Bye-bye.